All right, welcome to another episode of Ran Out of Talent. I'm your host, Joe Zer Jr., and with me is my co-host, Zach Donathan. How's it going tonight, Zach?
Uh, it's been better. It's been worse.
Still fried from that wonderful drive from Florida to Louisville?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you got bit by the flight deal, huh?
No, no, they canceled this flight September 24th and failed to notify.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a bummer. I thought you got, because today, I got a whole bunch of emails from the airline saying, "Hey, we're back to full capacity again."
No, yeah, that would have been fine. Not really, but like I could have known, but this was set up a while ago and they changed and I checked and nothing changed
Hmm.
and they just didn't notify. So,
Yeah. Is that Southwest?
Spirit.
Ah, got it. Well,
Oh, that's my last time with them and last
I
time
don't.
I do a third party booking system, I'm going
Oh
direct
yeah.
next time.
You know, I flew United for the first time because to Denver on the way to the PNWC
Hmm.
and on the way back as well. The only reason I flew United is because I had credits, and that's nicer than Delta. It's
United's not bad. Yeah.
it's so expensive though. It
It
if
depends
I
on they have like hubs.
Yeah, well, so if I usually to fly back and forth from MSP to Denver's round trip is usually about $120 through Southwest, Sun Country, what have you. Hey, Ba Kim checking in. How's it going? Oh man. Um wow, I need to learn how to delete comments. I'm glad
Yeah.
that
Oh,
I'm
you
glad.
highlighted that one.
Yeah, I highlighted that one. That one's fine. I'm talking about the Twitch one. Thank God
Yeah.
nobody's on Twitch. But anyway,
I mean, worse things have been said. At least it's PG.
yeah, I can't repeat that. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. Totally, totally gone.
They were a little the flights were a little expensive.
Yeah, flights were expensive, but you know, it was a great flight, except for the planes were great and the service was great. But on the way home, gave me the decision that I'm going to drive to the Clash of Champions in December 31st,
Yeah.
because we took off 10 minutes late and landed 10 minutes early. My ears were popping for like 3 days after. Like it was like straight up and straight down. It was pretty brutal. Hey, Matt Tell Judas checking in. He's saying in 2 weeks you guys battle. Yeah, you do.
I mean, I don't know how much of a battle it's gonna be. It's more like the older brother holding back the younger brother while he's swinging like a crazy man.
Yeah, yeah. So before we get any farther, speaking of where you're all going to be battling next week, it's going to be at Dollar Hobbies
Oh,
Raceway
nice.
in Woodbury. Guess what? They also have a web page to where I've been buying from Dollar Hobbies for years. Go to Dollar Hobbies with a Z.com. Um, they have 13,000 products from over 130 different companies. They do price comparison. They have all kinds of coupons. But also, guess what? If you spend over $100, you get 10% off of your entire order with the code Joe Jr. at checkout at Dollar Hobbies with the Z.com, or you can use it at the register in store. They also host birthday parties and corporate events starting at $249. And they have an awesome on-road track to where they are holding the Christmas Classic. I'm telling you right now, guys, if you're on the fence, It is almost full. Now is the time to sign up.
Oh, is it?
If you It's getting there. I talked to
What?
Jeff today and we're pretty close to capacity. So get signed up through Jeff, and they also have my personal favorite carpet in all of carpet off-road racing. They roll out this office carpet. Um, no sauces allowed. We'll get to saucing later. It's 99 cents a square foot. So yeah, check them
The
out at
carpet, not the.
right. Check them out at Dollar Hobbies with the Z.com. Kool-Aid VR, check it in. I was going Kool-Aid. Yeah, Matt Del Judas, he's been going for the last 5 years. I've been seeing him every time. It's been awesome. So, anyways, I'm a week and a half back from the PNWCC, and I was mistaking it by calling it the Mini Z Worlds, because when you hear 128 scale, you think of Mini Z. Zach,
There
there
were
was
zero mini Z's.
zero Mini Zs. I mean, some people are like, there's a part here or there. Like the AAA stock, I want to say were Mini Z Spirit, but they were the PN 2.5 conversion.
Mhm.
I drove a super stock car and they're challenging and fun, but that is equal, if not, I would say equal to an IFMAR World Championships. There were 12 countries represented. The only thing, the only difference is they ran more classes in a IFMAR World Championship because they ran it by speed. So you had the AAA stock, you had Formula One, you had super stock, you had two-wheel drive open modified, four-wheel drive open modified, which you think would be faster than two-wheel, but it's not even close. And you had pan car open. So the pan car open, oh my. So super stock, if I worked at it, I could get my lap times down to where they need to be and I can see it. Pan cars are about, I would say, a second and a half, if not more, faster a lap. I know I could not keep up with the pan car.
That's a lot.
Dude, they were so fast, and everything on those cars are as technical, if not more technical.
But they're so small. Yeah.
They're so small, the tolerances are tighter. It's kind of funny. It's like usually I go to a race, like I'll go to the Clash, I'll know a dozen or more people there. It was weird. I did not know one person. I mean, maybe one person at that event.
I knew a couple of them, but
Yeah,
I didn't
there's
know
a
most of
lot of,
them.
yeah, like Klingford was doing the race directing and all that. But it was a good time, a lot of qualifyings. One thing I would be a fan of if I wasn't or if I wasn't doing commentary, there were no bump ups, which is whatever. They took enough to the main to where they did not need bump ups. The one thing as a commentator that killed me a little bit were some of the double mains. Every letter main or every main had a double main. The A mains were triple mains though. But I mean, it's their deal. It was an awesome time. I'm trying to bring up results because, like, there were one thing I liked about it. There weren't quote unquote pros. The guys that were paid they either started a company or they were company owners previously, if that makes sense to you. I'm trying to bring it up here. Why is it not? There you go. View results from other events. There we go. So there,
Yeah.
huh?
There's people there like John Dixon who
Oh, John Dixon was fast as shit.
he's fast at everything.
Yeah.
I first met John Dixon racing carpet oval, and
Mm-hmm.
then Next thing I know, he's whipping my ass in on road.
Yeah.
All the classes in on road, super fast in all those, and then he jumps over to Mini Z after he
Yeah.
opens up Iron City RC or something like that,
Yeah.
and super fast. Yeah, he's just quick at everything.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, so his results, even though he's in A mains, his results are not indicative of his speed. He was lacking consistency in the mains.
Okay, because he was quick in some of the qualifiers.
Oh yeah, he's okay in practice and in seeding.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, let's see. Let me go to Pan Open so I can kind of. So Pan Open, Thomas Robin and no, it was Thomas Robin, the only ones that was in the no, John Dixon. John Dixon had a 8.8 and Thomas Robin had an 8.8 for seeding, somewhere in seeding. But you know, they put in a race setup and they got their pace down and they were running 9.2s, 9.1s. Dixon was the only one all throughout into the mains getting down into those 8.9s. He just wasn't consistent. Hey, Travis RC, how's it going? And that's the thing too. He likes his car. Like if you watch his cars and compared to like Paquito's car or Robin's car or whatnot, Dixon's car was on that like ragged edge to where Paquito and Robin had a little more comfort and stability built into the car. Like they were made to go the 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Travis RC checking in. Cameraman Chris checking. He goes, they should have been faster. I'll tell you what, cameraman Chris and Jason Bollinger are some of the best because cameraman Chris, I'll tell you what, he's the only cameraman in the business that is able to keep up with them. I'm calling it right now. He is. And Shu, Jason Bollinger, is the only one with this camera that is able to capture good photos. Nobody else would be able to. I mean, seriously, they did a phenomenal job. They did glamour shots of all the cars. But yeah, Thomas Robin, I forget what company he owns now. Shoot. He won your PN Pan Open. The Pan Open and the two-wheel Open seem to be the premier classes. Like Jose Paquito won two-wheel Open. Alex Soto Pagan won the or took second in two-wheel Open, but he won one of the mains. We were pumped going into main day because we ran the first set of A mains Saturday night. And Alex Soto took home the first A main for two-wheel Open, but he ended up second, which is in this group of guys, even sniffing an A main is ridiculously good. But yeah, it was a phenomenal time, and I hope that I'm in the budget for Mod Live Media again to go. I might even build a Formula One car because that's about my speed. I would just need a dozen front wings because they rip off front wings like paper. And break servos. They break servos like crazy too.
They're so tiny.
All of
The
them
servos.
are. Oh yeah.
No, I mean the servos are like particularly tiny. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so there's nothing there.
No, I looked them up though. The servos they run are 30 ounces of torque at a 0.07 transit speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean they're plenty capable, but like you said, there's nothing there. And most guys dislike the servo saver. It gives it a disconnected floaty feel because they're super small. You're not going to get like a super solid X-ray servo saver in there.
Yeah.
And so they just run them direct and they pop them, which is understandable. I would rather.
They're pretty cheap though, the servos.
They're $50-$60.
Yeah, but like
It's not
if you
bad.
got to add a couple gear sets, like
Yeah, you
it
know,
is what it is.
I mean, up to my fifth scale, I run my servos as direct as humanly possible. Because, but speaking of, so rumors were flying around the track. Speaking of, so it's almost certain that Osmatics is going to come out with the 128 scale vehicle, maybe a 128 scale line. And then it is heavily rumored that X-Ray will be following.
Hmm.
So that'll be, I mean, don't get me wrong, like Reflex and all the other brands that were out there running, Thomas Robbins brand, which is slipping my mind, is a world champion. And I looked at them and I didn't see anything left on the table. Like if you look at a Kyosho Mini Z, like whatever, it's like, yeah, there's a lot that needs to be done here. But like with the Reflex and all the other brands that were in the top competing, I want to say no, I don't know if Screamo had an associated. I know there were a couple associateds there. There's a lot of work being done to that platform as well, from what I understand. But
Yeah, I think it's like more optimization and
yeah,
like and then you have like you had the standard 12 scale for well since the pivot was introduced from the T race,
yep,
and then you had automatics. You for like 15 years all the 12 scales looked the same, and then the
yeah,
automatics came out and everyone lost their mind.
right. Well, that's what I'm wondering is Osmatics going to, like, when Osmatics came out in touring car, they love them or hate them, or they were ahead of their time, which they were. They made us rethink about what we thought about touring cars with that A700, whatever that thing was back 10, 12 years ago now. Now, can they
Longer
enter a
than that.
market? Yeah. Yeah. It's been a very long time since it feels like yesterday since Osmatics hit the market, but it's been a very long time now.
Hmm.
But now, are they going to be able to reinvent the 128 scale wheel now the way they did with the touring car? It's going to be very interesting.
I don't know if you even get there or if you go like the Mugen route. Like you have a nice four-wheel
Mhm.
drive car that's a solid start, and then
Yep.
you innovate from there.
Sure. Sure. Maybe they'll go that route as well, but we'll see. Chris Mueller's wondering if I have a track in my basement yet. Nope, because I'm not moving my iRacing rig. That is going nowhere. Actually, I spent some solid time on it yesterday. So, Zach, you are back from the Florida Carpet Championships at
Mhm.
Beachline. You did not race. You were a vendor sponsor, which is awesome.
Mhm.
Uh, so you were working some of the top racers' batteries as well.
I was.
Yeah. I mean,
We had
tell me about it.
several. Yeah. So, I mean, the program that these guys use is the same program that I've been
Oh,
saying
wait,
about.
wait, sorry.
Go ahead.
One more thing. I got to thank Joe Chen for sponsoring from Rad Bodies for sponsoring Mod Live Media for bringing us out there. I forgot to thank Joe Chen. Got to thank that guy. Sorry. Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, yeah. So it's the same program that I recommend for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, we heated the batteries for 20 minutes. We
Mhm.
charged the batteries while they were heating at 20 amps. And then we took the battery from the sleeve into the car through tech and onto the track.
Okay. So you had a good time on it. Like, they weren't temping the packs?
No, they were. They were 90 degrees. So
Okay.
sorry. So we heated them to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then by time it was like, maybe I don't know, not even 5 minutes. So like as an example, Nate would come over. He would grab his battery because he didn't bring all of his stuff because he's doing 1,000 disciplines and he's Nate.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
He's
so
a
I was
kid.
like, all right, yeah, I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I got it. So we did that with him. He put the battery in his car. Tommy fiddled with it, got the body on, went over to not even the body on, but like you just set it
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
And then you turn the radio on, and then what you walk over to tech, and then by the time that happened, because there's so like it's not like a direct line from my pit spot to tech, so you gotta like I was right next to the hobby shop and like the kitchen area, if you guys know
Okay.
if you ever been there. And so you go out of there. So like Nate was walking, take a left. There's like people. There's a bathroom. So you got to kind of weave your way. There's an entrance, and then you got to wait, and then there's a line for tech. So it was like 5 minutes after it came out of the sleeve, and it was 100 or it's 100 when we pull it out. And then it was 90 when he got over there, which is perfect.
Yes.
And that's it.
Okay.
There's no magic, just what I've been saying forever.
So let's say on a smaller track, on my 2-wheel drive buggy, let's say, I don't even get my battery down to storage in a 5-minute run.
He
it
was
comes
not
up.
either.
Okay, because my battery comes off at like 7, 8 and some change.
Yeah, his was like a 390. I want to say
Okay.
like 2-wheel drive, and maybe a little bit lower in Wheeler.
Oh, I would assume because in Wheeler,
For
like I
Sal.
come, yeah, in Wheeler I come off the track at like 765, 7.7 total.
Yeah, I want to say it was closer to like 3.8 per cell, or maybe 3.7 something. I didn't
Okay,
really pay attention to the end voltage. He said he didn't get any fade, so I wasn't really
so
worried about it.
so my question is, you just start from where you start, or do you bring the battery to somewhere?
No, just he handed me the battery after he was done running. We did this for there were 3 people on this program that I know of heating the battery like this, and I'm sure there were some others. I just didn't talk to them.
Right.
I know there were many people that were heating their batteries via discharging. I don't know what their program was,
Okay.
but I know there are other people heating their batteries there because there were I had a temp gun out, and people asked me to temp their batteries on their way to tech.
Yep.
So, and I'm sure that's a pretty common practice when the temperature's under 100.
Yes.
So,
Okay. Yeah. What did you think of the show, the layout? I mean, on camera, the layout looked like a lot of fun. It looked flowy. It looked like that section that like short shoot to the corner to the stairs. It looked fairly difficult to be fast. Like the fast guys were throwing their cars to the wall before the corner and the stairs.
yeah, so that was a really interesting. So the mod guys and the stock guys had a slightly different line into that. So the mod guys would it looked like they went out a little bit wider.
Okay.
When I was watching Brock's car, and I would say he was probably the most aggressive with the going into the stairs.
Yep.
And it's kind of hard to say, but he got up on 2 wheels at least once a race
Yeah.
going into that, and like complete control, but just like threw it in there so hard that like it just kind of went and then came down and took off into the 180. And the
Yeah.
stock guys were more like middle of the lane and then cut it in close.
Okay.
And then just like what I imagine they did is they were at the corner, let off, cut it in, and then probably tap the brake or some hard push brake, depending on how much speed they scrubbed coming off the stairs. Because it looked like if you did a lot of steering in the stairs, your car got upset,
Oh,
depending
yeah.
on how tall, because the further up you were,
Yep.
the bigger the steps down were. So a lot of them were trying to get like, I would
Tight to
say
the
a
roof.
foot off the board.
Yep. Yep.
Is kind of where I was looking. And then they would come into that section and take off.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
layout was, I've never seen stairs before, so I thought that was really cool.
Hmm.
Um, there were, um, I
Blood
thought
ledge.
it was a little technical.
Yeah, I was gonna say blood ledge as a good observation goes the balls. Whoever had the balls to do it.
Yeah, the I thought the kind of the right side of the track with the stairs I thought was okay. And then you go over that big jump in the middle and you come down on the chicane, and like how they had to do that was a little wonky. But it wasn't bad. It was just like how the layout was. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't anything about it, but you really had to drive that chicane. You couldn't just straight shoot it, which I'm a big fan of.
Yep.
Um I really don't like chicanes where you're going fast through them. I mean, they were kind of going fast, but you had to like, it was like you made a triangle out of it type of thing. Um, but yeah, it seemed like it was really cool. I got to meet Robbie and I'm forgetting his name already. There's another young kid that works for Robbie, Gavin. Um, and they were super nice to me. They had a food truck outside.
Okay.
They had inside pits and outside pits. There was actually
Mhm.
kind of like three. So you had inside, and it was all around the track, and then you
Yep.
had outside in the big white tent, and then you had kind of the exalt tent next to that, which is just a bunch of exalt canopies together.
Gotcha. Lonnie checking in saying, "Are you might see me at the new Hobby Farm location if I work a race, Lonnie. Yeah, if they want me to work a race and I'm available, you'll see me up there for sure. I was thinking about checking it out this Saturday. I have this Saturday with no racing for once, um, so after a race like that and what's coming near you, does that give you the itch for off road? I mean, it's different
Well,
than
I mean, Jammers is already open um,
okay.
for carpet.
I
Um,
thought they were doing something at Hoosier.
um, I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be any carpet off road going at Hoosier. They still have their big off road track.
Yeah, but
Um,
okay.
I don't know. We'll just have to. I I don't know if they're going to do any carpet off road. That didn't really come up when I was talking to Eddie and Talon on the 14-hour ride home.
So they had a ride home with you as well?
Oh
Or
no,
you
they drove and were very gracious and allowed me to ride
really?
with them. Yeah,
Oh,
well, it was. I mean, there was just enough space in that car.
I bet.
I had well because they were bringing my two totes home too,
Yeah.
which was okay. They had enough space for that, and then it was kind of it was full. You could see out the back, but it was full.
Yeah, yeah, that airline stuff sucks. But anyways, see, like, I mean, does that give you the want to maybe pick up a two-wheel drive buggy and do a little bit of carpet off-road? Because it's like it almost
No,
feels like you don't need a filler because you're a busy guy with a young kid and all that, and still trying to go to
where would I race
jujitsu.
it?
Like I said, I thought you had
I have
something
a
here.
track 10 minutes from my house. I
Yeah,
could go to it's like a micro track,
yeah,
DBC Motorsports. Shout
yeah,
out to them. Um, they race like mini B or micro Bs.
yeah. I think they're
Whatever the
micro.
really tiny one is, the one that's
Yeah,
like the size of your
yeah.
I think it's a micro B. But they race those, and I could make like they race those tomorrow. I gotta pick the sister-in-law up at the airport,
Yeah,
or I
but
gotta put Irie to sleep. It's kind of like do one or the other. So no, I mean I don't really have any more time to race.
sure.
To so I'm
Yeah.
either at the track selling stuff or
Yep.
racing myself. Like so next weekend or doing family stuff. There's
Yep.
just like no more time.
I get it. And like I've said it a million times before on this podcast, you're gonna go from having no time to having all the time in the world, and it's going to happen overnight.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you're going to be like, do I really want to go to the in-laws for this BS thing? Nah, I'm going to skip it.
Well, we
And
don't
it's,
even do that much stuff
yeah, I know, but
with
it's like,
that.
oh man, Irie is off with her friends. I have nothing to do this Saturday, and and all of a sudden it's like your kid, I don't know if you're going for two, but all of a sudden
This year, yeah. Well, next year.
nice, nice. All of a sudden your kids, before you know it, won't need you one bit, except for maybe some cash or a ride here or there. But
No.
but it's one of those things. It's like you go from being busy every weekend, taking your kids to their soccer game and having a ton of fun to where they're like, "Ugh, get out of my room, Dad." It's that type of crap. Except though, I did take Jacqueline comic book hunting last Sunday afternoon, and that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, she's really into comic books. So, but she's in some super, super heavy classes in school to where you give me a million years, I won't even begin to understand the shit she learns in classes. I mean, it's that craziest stuff. And she's in like math league and all that, whatever. So when she's done with school, I'm going to take her with me to the INS event in Island in June.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and have her, give her a couple $100 to buy comic books from T-Mac.
Oh, yeah. That'll be great. He has a
Because
huge I don't even know what I'm looking at. I know he's got a huge selection, but I don't know.
so I have that eye of, ooh, this is worth a lot of money, but she doesn't like the ones that are worth it. She likes certain runs of certain comics drawn by certain artists.
Okay.
That's her deal. And it's like, I guarantee T Max got you covered. I guarantee it. So let's talk about some controversy that happened without naming names and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So saucing at the Florida Carpet Championships. From what I understand, it was happening very heavily when you're
So,
not supposed to sauce.
right. So you weren't supposed to sauce. There was nobody caught saucing.
Right. But they didn't
So,
have the tape, from what I understand. You need the tape.
there's apparently a variety of tools that you can
Mm-hmm.
use to detect sauce.
Yep.
And um so I don't know. They didn't have that. And then it became a rumor, and then it became kind of some questions were raised, and then people were being kind of secretive and not
Mm-hmm.
allowing other people to touch their cars.
Yep.
Um, I don't know what that's about. We can, if I'll tell you what I feel. If so, like, let's say Joe, you come up to me and we're a couple races before, and you go, "Hey Zach, can I check out your car?"
Yeah.
And I'll be like, Okay, Joe, here." Or if like we're in touring car and my tires are being sauced, which I
Yep.
know you're like, but I'll be like, "Yeah, you can look at it, just don't pick it up. You're gonna mess up the sauce,"
Yep.
type of thing. Or like, "Hey, you can come back after we're done racing, look at it, whatever." It was like, "No, you can't touch my car.
Eh,
You can't touch my tires." It was really weird how things were transpiring. And and it just got weirder. Um and so there was nobody caught saucing. However, several people told I had heard several people say they were saucing. And then it was kind of like some people said they were saucing, some people said they weren't saucing. and it sure looked like they were. So
Especially
yeah,
when the track
next,
gets greasy.
yeah. So I mean, there's evidence of saucing going on. Like, so if you go
Sure.
from a track that is very consistent the first couple days, and you kind
Yep.
of just plateau, and then like your cars just stop working, um, and it gets greasy. It looks like they're greasy and sliding around, and they went from not sliding around, and like the temperature's the same, like everything's kind of the same, except it's not the same anymore. Um, I don't know. So
If,
next year, go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say, if I were the person that asked to see the tires, I went to Vest. I would have licked my thumb and rubbed my finger right across without saying a damn word, and then look at their face. Look at their face when you do it. I guarantee that would have told the entire. I mean, the
Yeah,
entire story. Yeah, go ahead.
their face did tell the story.
I'm sure it did. I am sure it did. And that's a frustrating, but there were also prototype tires there as well.
They're well,
Well,
yeah, but
allegedly.
maybe tires. I mean, Hot Race had some stuff going around.
Yeah.
TZO, J Concept, of course. They always, they're always working on stuff.
Yep.
I don't know who was running what and where. I think,
Yeah.
I talked to Talon on the way home and asked him just a little bit about the tire program because I don't know anything about freaking carpet tires. Barely
Yeah.
know anything about dirt tires. And I asked him because I went to the INS race at Island. That was my first carpet off road track I've been to
Mhm.
in any recent time. And didn't really pay attention to anybody's tires. And then I went to this one and was kind of looking at it. It looks like a lot of them were running very similar style tires. A lot of them were just
Yeah.
JC, like whatever the carpet tire is.
It,
Um,
a very small and tight pattern with most of the tires.
yeah. And then there was some tires I saw that were so I looked at so I pit right next to Dominic Passio. And Dominic had, and this is another thing that's ridiculous, 20 sets of tires for his two classes for this
Yep.
race,
100%.
which is about $1,800, or
Yeah.
excuse me, $1,600.
Yeah.
In tires, depending on like the exact cost, but it's like,
Well, here's
ridiculous.
here's the deal. And what I say about that is, now, if you were running them once and throwing them away, that's a waste. You run them once, you put them away, and those are like for the NCTS events. I used to max out my tires, and then those tires I would like one or two run them, and then they would carry me for most of the rest of the season. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's understandable, but that's not like what a lot of these top guys are doing. Like,
Sure.
so we'll just take Dominic because we're talking about him, and he doesn't race carpet.
Oh,
His
okay.
local track is dirt.
Yep.
And he has a tire sponsor who buys or who supplies him tires. I don't exactly know the thing there, but so he had 20 sets and he just gives them to some local kid before he leaves.
Hey, good for that local kid. Holy crap.
Or spreads them out, whatever. But
Yeah.
he doesn't take them back with him, and he doesn't throw them away. He just like whoever wants them.
That's a nice thing to do. I mean,
Right. Well, he gets them for free, so.
yeah. Yeah, but even you know, we all know the racer who wouldn't do the same.
Well, no, but if I bought those tires and like I would do what you do, Joe, I would um take them back and use them. But
Yeah.
so I was looking at Dominic's tires and I was asking him a little bit about it because I just see him pull out tire after tire after tire. And I'm like, what's going on over here, man? And Dominic's actually really nice.
Yes.
If you I didn't know that. I didn't really talk to him before this. And so he he's sitting there and working on his car and just pulling out another set of tires, and pretty soon he's got 3 feet a section worth of tires. And I'm like, man. And so I was like, hey, do you mind if I, look at your tires and whatever? He goes, no. And he just, kind of like, so I went over and grabbed one and, just reach over. And I'm looking at this tire, and you could see like it's not pointy anymore.
Yep.
But it's not like used up. It's pretty. Right. It looked pretty new. I mean, it's not. It's like run in.
Yes.
But they're a little bit slower once they've been run in, apparently.
Yeah.
But it looked, I mean, pretty new. Now these other tires that I saw, they were not looking new. They were worn down. They definitely were a softer style compound than what the other tires were, and they look like a similar tread pattern. I'm not really, but there were a lot. I saw a lot of tires out and about, and I didn't see any worn down tires until that set.
Yep.
So that was interesting. So prototype tires stuff going on, which is cool. Always tire development. Looks like a compound more than a tread pattern, because kind of all of them look like they have the little pins in the middle, and then the big knobs on the outside for the front tires, and then the rear tires were like a V. Most of them were like a V pattern.
Yep.
And a pin.
Yep. Yeah, you run one direction, they're more aggressive. The other direction are more comfortable, but you can run them in both directions.
Yeah, so that was kind of what it looked like most of the guys were using.
It's a bummer that people were cheating, though. I mean, but if it wasn't being properly teched, which
so yeah, next year apparently what they're going to do is, or what they talked about doing, and there's a couple of things you can do. So like there's something called like a dope sniffer or a tire sniffer or something like that. You put your tires in before you go through tech. It's big enough that you just put like you slide your car in there with the tire. And I'm not really sure. I was getting explained to me, and I was like trying to, I don't know. Anyway, however that thing works, and apparently it detects sauce. I was talking to the guy, and I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I'm not going to. But I'll tell you the story. So I was talking to this guy, and he said he was at an event with one. And he had some tires from a previous event which were sauced, and this event was a couple weeks ago. And he took one of the tires up there, and apparently there was 2 different sauces used on these tires. He had 2 sets with different sauces.
Yep.
And it detected both of them from a couple weeks before. Well, and he put his tire from this event with no sauce, and there was no detection. So that's pretty cool. Apparently it's an expensive device. So
yes.
I don't know how.
Anything that can accurately tell you what something is, it's expensive.
Well, you don't even need to know what it is. You just need to know it's not legal.
Right. All right.
But
sorry, go ahead.
We got that, and then the other options to do like a full world's tire lockdown program.
Yep.
So you have you have some tires, you glue them up in a specific area. You have them marked and then put away in bins in a special area under surveillance.
Yep.
And then you go up to that special area, you get your tires, you go through tech, you go onto the track, you take them back to that area, you put them back.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
No, you can't. No tires in the pits.
Yeah.
Or no of those. I'm not sure because it's got to have like ride height and camber and stuff. So
It
I'm not.
just won't be those tires.
Yeah, so
Like
I think you can have like
yeah, no marked tires in the pits.
yeah. So something to that situation, and then that's the problem with that is they talked a little bit about that, and it would take up a lot of space.
Oh yeah.
To do something like that, and you gotta have somebody at least one. I mean, you could have some double duty when it first starts when people are gluing up tires. Um, you know, but you got to have somebody over there the whole day, and that's all they're
Oh yeah.
doing is checking in and checking out tires,
Yeah.
or
Yep.
maybe two people, like depending on the whole thing. But yeah, so that kind of sucked for the event. I mean,
It looked like a
it,
fun event regardless.
it was super cool.
Yeah.
There was great racing. I thought there was too much qualifying.
Oh yeah.
But it was great racing.
Yep.
I thought the track itself was nice. It's in Florida. It was like 70 during the day and like 50 at night. It's
Nice.
pretty nice, especially for this time of year.
Yeah.
Um, the people there are super nice. The track crew, and I got to talk to a bunch of the locals. All those guys were super nice. Everyone was like real friendly. I got to catch up with tech guy Cal, who does a lot of the tech for like Roar and IFMAR.
Okay.
So that was cool. I like talking to Cal. And I even got to meet a guy who used to live, he used to be friends with my dad, and then he moved down to Florida and just got back into RC racing 6 months before. And he just happened to be at that race.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. Shout out to Eric.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Well, that's cool. That's cool. We got Dwayne and Cam checking in. Cam says, "Can you really make a bunch of rules to have true spec racing? May as well have the same cars and setups too." They try with
That's
certain
pretty
ones.
cynical.
Yeah, a little bit. What we're talking about is just a simple rule of
So I mean,
told no
to get
sauce.
around that,
Yeah,
you allow sauce.
yeah, that's true. Tim Crystal checking in. Yeah, you allow sauce. That's about all you can do. Allow sauce.
I mean, so we're like the whole idea behind Roar, Cam, is that you have a box,
Mm-hmm.
and you can fit things in this box that work. And there's some stuff maybe in the gray area
Yeah.
that's might be legal, might not be legal, and you got to figure out like, is it legal? Is it in the spirit of racing?
Yeah.
Is it in the gray area but not in the spirit of racing? Like, what are we trying to do here? So, so I think that there are you follow the guidelines, you do the thing. That's what like the motors, the batteries, the cars, the tires, design and profile and all that stuff. And so we all have like kind of the same thing.
Yep.
So, but you can do your own thing in that space and make it work and make it your own. And the cars now, like the buggies, especially the 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive buggies.
Yep.
All those things look the same.
Yep.
There's some minor difference, like little tiny things, but it's like touring cars when the X-Ray, like T4 came out. Man,
Yep.
all those things looked the same until the Automatics, and then all of them looked the same until the Automatics finally wasn't so weird.
Well, like a good example. Like you're not supposed to sauce at Dollar Hobbies, but they say you can run tires that were sauced previously at another event. You just can't sauce at the track. That's kind of what Dwayne's bringing up. The thing about the no saucing rule is I follow it. If the track says no saucing, I don't sauce. And again, so I could put, I forget the name of the tape, but you can get it at a hardware. It's not, might be painter's tape, but it's similar, but not the same as painter's tape. I can It's just like the sniffer, and it's cheap. I can put that piece of tape on a tire, and if it's been sauced, it's going to come off black. If it hasn't been sauced, it's going to come off clean. You
Well,
know,
Cam, there was no sauce in the pits.
yeah, they were doing it behind people's backs, Cam, and they're break. But that's a pass. But hey, in the Donathan RC 4-wheel drive modified or 40 plus modified buggy 2-wheel, looks like David Alabrico won that from Kansas City. BT took 2 and Paul Wynn took 3.
Yep.
I mean, it looked like a fairly, 40 plus is getting large. There were 38 of them. I remember.
I think it was the second largest class.
Yeah, I remember when 40 plus came around, there was like 1 full A main and like 4 in a B main. So that's growing. 2-wheel modified buggy. You had Brock Champlin win, followed by Una Hotnen and Orlowski in the 3. I think they do points, and didn't Orlowski take like 4th overall? Or am I thinking something else?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
So much.
Because looks like Michael Orlowski won 4-wheel, Brock Champlin in the 2, Daniel Kobovic in the 3.
Yeah, so there was who won? Did Brock win 2? I can't remember. There was so much. There was a lot of like crazy racing, and I do think it was almost harder. It looked like it was harder to put in a stellar run and not make a mistake. Like you could tell
the track looked
all
hard.
the guys were pushing to like go faster, and then you could see like it almost looked like they all had a gentleman's agreement to go like 80%. And then somebody made a mistake and they started pushing. And
well, I get that. I mean, it's like, well, I would rather finish. Let's say you're a 98% efficiency racer, and you're like, well, I'd rather finish 4th than 8th. But then the guy in 3rd crashes, and you smell blood in the water. I mean, that's the way I look at it. So.
Yeah, and then they all started pushing, and like, if you look at the lap times, most of the fast laps came like in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
which a little bit makes sense because it's how the tire program they were running. They wanted the tire to be good for that whole race. Yep. So they did like a partial break in. So that first minute was probably a little sketchy.
Yeah. It's the tire break in, and then mod cars are so fast that once you burn off some of that voltage and the car gets a little easier to drive, totally do faster laps. Because the car is smoother.
It happened in stock a lot too.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Real weird.
Yeah, that's fairly uncommon. So yeah, good time. Besides the Saucing incident, would you recommend it to your average Joe to go to?
We get kind of back to that tire thing. So, and some of that, like so I was talking to a few people, and they said the tires didn't handle bad when they were 3-run tires, but they weren't as fast.
That makes sense.
And I was also talking to Talon about like that thing. I was like, why so many tires? This is ridiculous. And he says, well, like some people, like at other tracks, you can run the tire more. He was talking, and I don't know if this one guy wants me to say his name, so I'm just going to.
Yeah.
This guy was doing exceptionally well at Island Speedway, and he was able to use the same tire for 6 runs.
Yep.
Oh, good.
And I'll say wait till Island gets their new carpet and how much longer a tire will last.
So Dwayne, I'm glad you asked that.
Yep.
So
Dwayne brought
there
it up.
was a controversial racing event. Oh, there was a
Ye-
couple like racing incidents, but like, well, like you're in open. First off, you're in open wheel racing. So if you go
Yep.
side by side,
You
like
touch.
bad stuff can happen. Best case scenario, you bounce off each other, and nothing terrible happens.
Right.
So yeah, so A3. I think this was 2-wheel drive. So first lap, everyone's going. Aaron, I think he touched the inside pipe coming around to that triple, and it
Mhm.
sent him off on the wrong side of the track. Not purposely cutting the track, but he cut the track.
Yeah.
And then he was able to jump back in line before Nate could get up to that second position. Because I forget who TQ'd that.
Are we talking?
Maybe
Oh,
Daniel Chavez.
yeah. I want to say Nate T. Did Nate TQ 4-wheel?
Yeah, 4-wheel. Let me see here. I want to say it was Daniel Chavez who did
we're
2-wheel stock.
I gotta say something though. Locally, I don't know how it is in your area. Well, you don't do off road. People have been intentionally cutting the track. I don't want to name names. I'm not going to, but we have a little bit of a problem with that in Minnesota as well.
Oh, man, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, it sucks. So let's see here.
Go to the warm up. Yeah, Daniel Chavez did 2-wheel.
Yep.
TQ 2-wheel. So,
Yeah.
sorry, too many. It was another white car on the track.
Yes.
It was kind of hard for me to remember.
Frustrating. To me, it makes a wonderful rainbow of colors that are bright that you can see. They don't all have to be white.
Well, there were 3 in the A main, and that's and they had their colored stickers on them. But
you can't. I mean, you might be able to see them, but the older you get, the less you can see those colored stickers. They just look like chrome, like flashing by you.
Yeah, so I couldn't really tell the difference between a couple of them. But so Chavez was good. Aaron definitely hit the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And if he hit that pipe on purpose to cut the track, like, damn, dude, you super talented. I mean, Aaron's really talented anyway, but that would be crazy. And then Nate in third. So, that happened, and Aaron cut back in, and there was no penalty for that. So, and I have no ill will against Aaron. I think he's a nice person and raced really well and didn't do anything wrong on purpose. But you cut the track, you should have had to give up that position.
Sure.
I think one position, not even a stop and go, just the one position in there, and it wasn't caught by Lance. And then apparently Lance did catch it, but Lance thought that Aaron was in first when that happened, and so he was just trying to get back out in front because by the time that happened, Daniel had jumped over the big jump, and so it was just 1 and 2, and I was like, it's kind of hard to say. So yeah, I think that should have been an automatic. You have to give up that position to Nate. But it was a freight train for that, so it would have been Aaron to 10. If he did it in that corner, maybe you could do it at the end of the straightaway going into the stair steps, but then that's real sketchy.
Yeah.
To do that, or maybe on the straight, I don't know. But yeah, so I think there should have been some kind of penalty for it. Would that have changed the outcome if it happened early enough? I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Did it affect the end outcome? Yes, I think we can say it did.
Yeah. So and again, Lance, even though he saw it, he is one man.
Oh, he's
Ra-
human for sure.
Races of these magnitudes need two people, doesn't have to be men, but two people in the booth. And both of those people need a microphone, and both of those people need to respect each other's decisions.
Yeah.
Because
I
that's
think-
one of those, because if Lance is trying to just run the race and the clock and all that, and yeah, he cares about traffic a little, but you know, when you're one guy and there's 10 cars on the track, you can't call everything.
Well, I think what would have done this good is like at a Roar event they have a referee, and I know the referee doesn't see everything, but like I think having a referee would have been like good.
Yes. Yeah, Benjamin
So-
James saying it was a very good weekend for Schumacher. I do agree.
Oh yeah. Well, Trish was there. I get to talk to him briefly. One of the Hooties was there. I'm not sure which.
Was it Uri?
No, it was not. It was a younger one.
Okay.
Then there was Moritz Lottenberg, LRP's son. I forget his name.
Yep.
He was there. Super nice guy.
Well,
And
they're
then
looking
there
at
was
LRP's looking to really come back, man. I'm kind of excited to see if they can.
I mean, we'll see. They're big in Europe. They're like really popular in Europe.
Yep. Gotta get those American stock dollars.
Well, you gotta have an American
gotta
stock
have the
program.
They gotta have.
You need to do it right. You need a Matty G for your brand.
Yep.
So like Matty's out there slinging it for Hobbywing, and he was at this event, and he's got all the tools and probably all the knowledge, and is constantly learning and developing and doing stuff and helping people. You know, so I think that's super important, and like Kevin does that with Exalt. So, but if you're gonna have a brand, you're gonna make a push. You need to have somebody there pushing and like knowledgeable. Like it's not like the Coyote team manager, or I don't know his official title.
Yep.
Was there. I didn't see a whole lot of pushing going on.
No.
And maybe this isn't the event to do that, but like I can say, you know, Moritz was pushing. Not like being one person with like a super. I mean, LRP is a well-established brand, but it's not like established that much anymore in the States. So like you got a stigma to get over.
Kind of like Phantom and what the new owners can have to do. So that's what.
Now, I don't know if that's public knowledge.
Oh, it's not.
I mean, I don't think it's.
Phantom announced on the Facebook page that they have been sold and there is a new owner.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So I got an email from as a team member. From that person.
Yep.
Well,
we don't have to say who yet, but Phantom.
Right, yeah, but Phantom got bought. We can talk more about that when it's kind of announced publicly.
Yep.
But he's doing stuff behind the scenes, and we'll see kind of what happens.
Yeah. Yep, and yeah, the former owners made a post, and that was it. Yeah, man, it was just it is what it is. Speaking of retailers, So we were able to see a retailer communication from Horizon Hobbies basically saying, sorry, but we're going to keep on screwing you. Oh, John Mans is saying, from what I heard in the background of the live stream, there were people protesting after the race. The incident happened on the first lap. And from what I heard from Lance on the live stream background was that he let him keep the spot because he didn't gain an advantage and didn't cause a pile up driving in the back. You cut a
So
corner, you wait.
no, well, so Lance did say that, and then
Okay.
later on, Lance said that he thought that that was first place.
Yeah, see, there was a mistake there. And that's the thing. So
However,
no,
I
I don't
don't
know.
think that's relevant.
Yeah, I don't know if Elite has the same equipment. Like, so Matt Olson with Mod Live Media has a replay thing, a rewind slow mo replay thing,
Mhm.
and that piece of equipment alone has. Since I haven't been with Mod for long, and I've only done a few races with them, but I've seen 3 times to where that's been used to resolve a dispute. Now they could have gone to Keenan and the guys in the Elite booth if they have that. I would assume I've seen them do replays. They have to
That
have
was
it.
Ryan Style Harris
Well, Ryan wasn't Keenan there?
and Keenan.
Yeah. So whoever knows how to run the instant replay machine.
Oh,
I don't.
and Aiden stepped in a couple times to do some interviews.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're doing okay. I can do commentary, and I can switch cameras, and I can do a few little things. I don't know how to work the instant replay. Like Matt has to do that. That is a certain thing you do. So they could
Yeah,
have got.
I mean Danny was there. I
Yeah.
think Danny would have been capable of doing.
So that's what I mean. They need to.
I I don't
They
know.
need to. They need to
But
go back to the footage. Is what they need to do.
so what they did to settle this is they did a super poll at the end, which what that is, and I didn't know what this was. So
Yeah.
a traditional super poll is
Mhm.
apparently you your driver's TQ stays TQ. And then
Yep.
second, third, fourth, and fifth all have a shootout to see who qualifies where. And you can only move up or down one position.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you could go from second to fifth, but you can go from second to third. And so it's whoever has the six. So you get 3 practice laps and then 5 laps is to get your fastest lap. And then based off your fastest lap is where you got put up or down one. Um, so they did a super poll to do qualifying, and it just for mod, which was kind of cool to see. It was a little different, and
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. Um, but they had they did that to kind of settle the score between Aaron and Nate at the end, and they did it with 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive.
Mm.
And so yeah, that's kind of how it ended up being settled, which I mean, I guess is the most fair way after the race is over, because like in a race, like let's say like Lance caught it right away and Aaron was able to give that position back up to Nate on the straightaway that lap,
Yep.
or like the following lap, what a reasonable time by after the incident. There's a lot of racing left to go. There's 4 minutes 30 seconds.
Sure.
You know, that's a lot of racing. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Maybe Nate crashes out. Maybe Aaron catches Nate and Nate gets past, and whatever. So like, it's not really fair to the drivers if you just give up a position like that after the race. Like Nate getting ahead of Aaron, because I think Daniel crashed out
Yeah.
in A3. Um, that's not really fair um to the drivers. So this is kind of a performance based fairness test after the fact, and I think that was the consideration. I didn't get to speak to Lance afterwards. I was gonna ask him, and he was pretty hot after his
Yeah.
monologue. So I didn't.
It's his deal.
Right, and he's race director.
Yep.
So like, whether I agree with it or not, that's what we did. Just like I don't agree with stuff, but it's you can't win every fight, and you just gotta be like, all right, well, that's what we're doing.
That's the nice thing about on-road racing. If you guys cut a corner, you're yard sailing your car hitting the board.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't have to worry about you fuckers cutting corners.
Well, there's a couple times that like it's happened.
Realistically, I mean, yeah.
Well, but like there's like one time at, I want to say it's like SummerSlam at Norcar. They have this thing they call the Ring of Death, which is like a 6-foot diameter curb.
Yep.
Essentially, and you can jump it.
Oh,
if not on purpose, but if you're trying to go around that thing and you get a wheel up on there, man, you're hooking on that thing. And if you do it just right, I saw one guy jump like over the corner.
Yeah.
Which technically jumped the track, but like not really. Like he moved a foot. You know what I mean?
That's
like
funny.
It wasn't like he moved lanes. And same with like curbs. Like you go over a curb, like if you don't wad it up in the next corner, you got your gift.
Yeah. Right. Well, we don't have a ton of time for Horizon. Let's just say we got a letter saying sorry, but to the hobby shop. So it's sorry. We're going to keep doing what we're going to keep doing. And if you don't like, you kick rocks kind of deal. When they released the Earnhardt NASCARs 2 weeks prior to when the hobby shops could get them, dude, that was, well, starting with the Associated Fire sales, those were giant middle fingers to the hobby shops and the public. Now, this here, when they did it with the NASCARs, it's like, yeah, dude, that's pretty low. And they're going to keep doing it. And guys, all of you that support Horizon and Horizon products, this is all on you. Those
We're
of you
looking
that
at you, Joe, and your fit scale.
There's very little Horizon left. It's going to be, my truck is going to be 95% mod from Mod Speed Shop. It's going to be 95% Mod Speed Shop by next summer.
Okay.
Jacob Schweisberger checking in. They're having a big race down there in Iowa this Saturday. I wish I could go. Yeah, Cam, it does suck. Those NASCARs, that would be fun to take one out of the box and race it and, yeah, just have fun. But
well, you know what? Tamaya makes
a TTO
NASCAR. They make a TTO too, and they got some, I think, cooler bodies.
Oh yeah.
That's already kind of a thing. They have like a TCS series, Tamaya Cup series or something like that.
Sure.
And I think that would, Tamaya is certainly not killing it, and they're not screwing over every hobby shop.
And they help racers with their series.
Yeah. So I mean, I think
does Horizon have a series? No, they don't.
Well, and you have other chassis, like not quite that cheap, but you have some mid-level chassis.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm popping up the next topic.
Okay, and you have some other chassis like the Schumacher Vibe and the Yokomo Rookie Speed, and some like smaller brands like the Sakura. They have like some cheap cars, but they're not ready to run.
Yeah. Cam says he has a cool MK1 Rabbit body. He needs to find a chassis for. I found a 86 or 87 Golf GTI body for the an MO3 chassis. That was fun. You know, us
All right.
racers like those fun classes. Here's the new XB4 from X-Ray coming out. They have the carpet in the dirt car. They're saying they have.
So
Go ahead.
I'll break this down for you guys if you haven't seen the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Not a ton has changed, but some stuff has been optimized. Some stuff has been moved in via like motor, and I think the battery got moved in a little bit. The chassis plate and the side skirts or whatever you call them
Yep.
are milled out and smaller so that the center of gravity is lower. So it's easier to drive. And there's something else. There's a couple other things that were different. Oh, the sway bar mounts. They've got the
Yep.
aluminum piece in the middle now, like they've had
I like
I
that.
thought forever, but
I like that. That's one thing that's a little disappointing with Associated that they went away from that. It was a very consistent design that needed to stay. They went from the carriers going from the outside in into a little pocket, and that's those set screws come loose often. And you're like, oh, my car was twitchy. It's like, oh, because I didn't have a rear sway bar by the end of that one.
mhm.
So
I
yeah, that
don't think
else.
there's a ton. Oh, the shocks. Oh, the on the 4-wheel drive,
Yep.
the front shock tower is now different. It has a lot bigger wing.
Yep.
And the shocks positions dropped 2 mil, and the shock caps dropped a mil. I think they're a mil smaller.
Okay. I love that. I love the way that LSRAM ESC. I'm like a
Did
hobby.
you did you see the V2 that they?
Yep.
I
That's
think
what's in that
that's
car.
probably what that is. Yeah.
Because you're able to add the wires with the V2. With the V1, the wires were built into it.
Right.
So you had one chance of getting it right.
Yeah. Well,
I remember Evan didn't quite get it right, and his wires were very taut. So this is a carpet. So it looks like the carpet one has a very similar decoupler as the Team Associated. I
Yep.
don't know who came out with this. Yeah, very similar to the B84. I'm not going to lie to you.
I think the front's wider. where the
Yeah.
chassis is.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah,
I mean that's what I'm saying. Like all the buggies look very similar
they
now.
do. They do. I mean, you can only go so far, and that's the thing too. Like with the B84, I don't want to knock it, but dude, the way people are
Here's a
breaking.
picture. You could see the front scoop's a little bigger, and
Yep.
it stopped before the chassis. So before it had like it looked like the rear shock tower where it had that piece on top.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the way the B84 is breaking chassis right now, I mean, it's no secret.
No, there was Associated released a new part, and then in one of the comments it was okay, great, but how about fixing the chassis?
Yeah. Well, that is the thing too. I mean, they're busted. Or they break. I'm nervous. I've never had to carry a spare chassis before, and I still don't plan on it. Oh, I like that. They did a little dugout for the spur gear.
So it can get even lower, yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
got to so I was pitting next to Dominic, and he said and Dominic runs the R1 buggy. He has so there's two in the world. He has one, and then there's one at the shop.
Yep.
And so he said the buggy was going to come out here in the next few months.
Cool.
So
Yeah. No, I mean this looks solid. That front end, like you said, it's a little wider on that where the B block is, and that's going,
but that cutout in the back there.
The cutout.
I'd like to see it straight. Well, in the front here, you see the cutout where it goes in.
Yep.
No. A little bit further back before the side rails attach. Yeah, right there. You see how it goes in a little bit? I would like to see that just straight like the rear end.
Sure. Yeah.
That would provide a little bit more.
Cam's wondering if there's any photos of that R1 car around.
Just look at like a B64.
A beast, yeah. New titanium turnbuckles, so those come on the car.
I'm sure there's
New titanium shock mounts, those come on the car. So right there, you're saving about $50.
yeah. Oh yeah, the value for the X-ray is getting better. But Cam, yeah, it looks. I'm sure there's some parts that are different than like I got to hang on to it and look at it and I was messing with it and you know it looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The fit and finish looks great. They had a couple. I was talking to Dominic about the progression because he said he had it about a week before he went to Hoosier with it for the Nationals. And I asked him about the progression of it since then. And he said, well, they've done a couple small tweaks, but it's mostly been some aesthetic stuff. They were pretty happy with the performance of the car when they launched it or when they made the first prototype.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. So there was a couple of small parts. He had like some different bell cranks on it. He said those were shaped just a little bit different. And he had something else that wasn't like the camber link plates to the like on the I don't know if it's the B64, but on the B7 they have those plates that attach to the hub that you can move the camber link around with. Those were different on his car.
Okay.
As well, but
so one thing I'm looking at is the shock. And one thing I do hate, there's a knock to every vehicle, and this is a big one. Eclipse.
Eclipse?
I freaking hate Eclipse.
Well, they don't come off when you don't tighten them down all the way.
Well, screw. I mean, yeah. I mean, I get it. And yeah, they have your standard spring cup options, which is cool. It looks like they added an extra one. I do like their sway bar holder. It's basic, but it works well. They're not trying to reinvent. Well, actually, a little bit. I kind of like the way the sway bar goes down in instead of vertical, like that 90-degree angle it does there. That's not normal.
That's standard for touring cars, though.
Yeah, it's not standard for a off-road car, though. Cam saying Avid makes different shafts to use a screw. That's good to know. Low try. They have their bodies, but buy a J-Con body and be happy. That's what I gotta say. They have a really nice motor cam, so it turns instead of back and forth, which is cool. Yeah, it looks like a solid car. You have the diff. It's everything else.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's like everything else. A little more optimized.
This one's just been optimized. There's a couple improvements, but mostly optimized. This isn't a 70% new car.
Yep.
So
yeah,
there's a couple things that are better and different. I think we can say that. Like whenever you can lower the center of gravity and move things inward.
Yep.
For sure better. You can take less slop out of the car and make it function well. That's probably better.
Yep. For sure.
What else we got here, Joe?
Well, ProTech came out with some new wheels. We're going to talk about those, but it's like, yeah, they're wheels. I mean, they look nice. Yeah. I'll pop them up, but I mean, they're wheels.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. At first I'm like, ooh, are they going to get the tire game? But it's like, nah.
Joe, I have something to tell you after this podcast.
Okay. But one thing I do like is they come in a 4-pack like J Concepts. More companies need to take note. J Concepts, well, Schumacher, you could buy like a giant bag of wheels,
Hmm.
but I really do love the 4-pack. So good on ProTech. Really good price point. I'm sure it's going to be a solid wheel for them. Let me bring up my notes. Because let's
What
just
else we got?
let me remove this
It?
because we got more just in the notes.
Oh, yeah, but we can say, do you want to do the Grand River thing? Or do you.
Well, the Grand River thing was disappointing, but before we get in the Grand River thing, if there's any vintage guys watching, I found my T2. I have an RC10 T2 on the way, and I'm super excited. I'm going parts hunting at a local hobby shop on Saturday that would have T2 parts in stock still. So, yeah, I'm just super happy about that. So the Grand River thing, dude, that was you sent me a deal. And I had to see it for myself. Grand River RC goes, the guy's like, I've had it. I can't do it anymore. Something about no more off road, whatever. And then I'm like, I'm familiar with the tracks at Grand River RC. I'm familiar, but I didn't know how it was run. Like 5280 in Denver is a club. That is not a for-profit track.
Right.
It's a club. So I was thinking Grand River was a club, and then one guy was, no, that's a for-profit business.
Hmm.
A for-profit business is complaining about putting down an off-road track. And I'm sure the numbers were good.
I
That's extremely disappointing.
feel the way that how the people are treated there. Um, I'm just not gonna go. Like they have honor there. The place looks nice. I've been in the building before, but not with
Yeah.
Skirt. And so I'm just like,
But like,
like how some of my friends tell me like some stuff, and I'm like, because I was like, oh, maybe I'll go up there. It's sticking around. Things are going good. They finally got like some touring cars up there, and then I start talking to a couple of them, and I'm like, all right, never mind.
yep. Well, it's like,
Vote with
look,
my dollars.
yeah, you can't put on a post on your business page, I've hit my breaking point. That destroys the confidence in your business.
Well, and like there's another track, and Grand River isn't exactly close, but
No.
so Phil owns the lower level, and Phil's my boy.
Yep.
Also, Phil doesn't do silly things. Um, Maybe the silliest thing Phil does is he wants to do a driver's meeting before every race, just to give like a couple quick things,
Yep.
because there's always new people. Um, he just explains. It's like a 5-minute thing.
Yep.
Just let him explain it. Every season racer knows what's going on. You race, you turn marshal, you put your
Yeah.
car down, and go. It's just the normal shit. And people just keep talking, and it's super disrespectful. But Phil, the silly thing I feel Phil does is he'll call him out on it, like on the mic in front of everybody. He goes, "Oh, no, 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 no! You guys continue your conversation. We're gonna wait until you're done."
Yeah.
And it really it stops the conversation, but it is very disrespectful. So I can understand where Phil's coming from, but like,
Yeah.
man, as a track, imagine putting all that effort into it, and then like, man, come on, just do like, come on, dude, like, you got a nice place, you had nice things going, and now like you're just throwing it in, and then you're not throwing it in. Do you look at it after that?
I I saw a lot of the comments after the fact
Oh,
too.
you can't find that post anymore.
No, you can't find that, but you can find the one in the I joined Michigan Racers group,
Okay.
and it was the same sentiment with
So
those.
now it's all about
Mini Z and
Oh yeah,
whatnot. Yeah.
which is fine. I think mini Z's are great, or like
Yeah.
mini plat or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I got no problem with that. But
It's disappointing. Another disappointing thing, which I hate doing all this disappointing stuff. The legendary New Red Hobbies closed its doors all of a sudden without on payday. From what I understand, it was on payday. So I don't know if the employees have been compensated for the time they worked, but that's all too common of a story in the hobby business to where, well, the original owner of New Red died last year or the year prior, I believe. And then somebody took it over and, you know, like the manager's like, dude, I don't even know what happened. He goes, I went to open the store and the gates were locked and it said operations have been suspended. Nobody told him anything. So yeah, it was disappointed to say the least. Yeah, so hopefully they get that. I mean, another legendary track gone. I don't see New Red rebounding after that. Did you get
yeah,
any sense in the pits? Because that's a Florida track as well. Did you hear anybody talking about that last weekend?
no, nobody even brought it up.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we have tracks closing, but we have tracks opening too. And like, I could go to most states and drive 2 hours from most points and hit a track. So like,
Yeah.
it's not like we don't have tracks. It's just like we don't have as many tracks, which I feel is okay.
Yep.
Just because like, and it's to a point. Like, you get
Sure.
to like the point we are in like like the Kentucky area.
Oh, you guys have a little
Like,
bit.
we don't have much. We have Hoosier.
Yep.
We have there's an 8 scale track near Cincinnati on the
Yep.
Kentucky side.
Yep.
And there's another track in Louisville, like an oval track, a dirt oval track or something.
Yep. And there's a dirt oval at Hoosier as well.
There's the dirt oval at Hoosier. But I don't know of any more tracks in Kentucky. So like Kentucky's a little sparse, Tennessee's better, Georgia's better, South Carolina's getting a little weird.
Yeah.
But like it's just that I'm not from there. I know of a lot of places in like the Midwest area that have
Yeah.
a lot of tracks in
Yes.
them, and like so like if there's not a lot of racers coming in, like new racers or like continued racers to support them, then like yeah, like it's just gonna have to close down, and then new ones are gonna open up when it's
Sure.
supply and demand. Like, and that sucks to look at the thing we love like that, but man, sometimes it's easier.
Well, yeah, sometimes it sucks to see a legendary facility like New Red go the way it went. It wasn't just like Joe Schmo's basement track. It was New Red. New Red was, and again, it was a legendary facility, and it sucks. The owner died and it went to shit.
Well, and that's what happens.
It is.
Mismanagement kills it, man.
It is.
And like
Um,
just like Phantom,
yeah,
you know.
no kidding.
And now they got bought, and maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't really have much else except for the Huddy race was rescheduled at Island for towards the end of March. I want to say the weekend of March 21st. It was supposed to be January 16th, but it was rescheduled to March, which I'm kind of happy because it takes a little stress off of my schedule because January was starting to look a little too busy.
there's so many races.
I know.
We need less. Well, we need the same amount of tracks and less big races.
Well, the thing is, it's like there are enough racers that are within driving distance of all these races to fill the races. But it's, but then you got guys that are flying from, let's say, Minnesota to Florida, which there's nothing wrong with that. it's awesome. Go support it. But it's like guys filling up those races when they, well, do it's one thing for Nate Sutherland to be doing it, and it'd be another for me to be doing it. Like, yeah, I'll do 1 or 2 a year, but there are guys that are at my level that are going somewhere once a month instead of going to their local clubs.
Yeah. Well, so that's kind of where, like, if I had a local club,
Yes.
I'd be there. I would still. I mean, I'm not a great example because, like, I have to travel for DRC.
Yes.
But like, I when I didn't own DRC, I did a little bit of traveling.
Yeah.
I went to some races, but it was a lot of like regional stuff. We went to like Chicago. We went to
Sure.
Ohio.
Yep.
I think we went somewhere. We went to one other spot. Indianapolis. So we were in South Bend area, and so in Fort Wayne. But like we supported the local area, like, and then we
Yeah.
would go to like EA's track, like, and that was it was a special thing, or like Snowbirds or IIC, and now it's like, man, when I go to these events, it's the same people.
Yeah.
It's not always the same people, but like 50% of those people are the same.
Yeah. And that's like the past few events, like Vegas for that vintage event. That was one of the best example. Out of most of the guys I knew there, that was going to be their one big race of the year. Take away the pros, but I knew a lot of guys my level, maybe a tick above, maybe a tick below. That was their one event. And then they're going to be club racing the rest of the year, looking forward to next year. They're not going to get that burnout. They're not going to go broke. They're going to support their club. They're going to improve or not, but.
Right. And generally clubs have like 1 or 2 like regional races a year.
Sure.
And like that's their like the Christmas Classic. Like,
yeah.
Yes, I am flying to the Christmas Classic.
Yep.
I'm going as a business / racer. This is one of the ones I'm racing, but like Jeff has been a big part of DRC. And
And
I want to
Jeff
go
is a good
make
friend.
sure and he's a good friend. And I want to go make sure that his racer base is taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Or not racer, but whatever base that wants to talk to me, really.
Yeah.
And make sure, that their needs are met and that I understand what's going on. Because like going to these events, like when I went to PNB the first time, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I tried. I showed up with some stuff that I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I went last year and it was a lot better. And next year I'm going to go again and it's going to be even better because I'm learning from all these things. I'm learning from the people there and what they want and what they need and those types of things. So it's the same thing, and different demographics and different people. And that's why I went to this race. Like, I've never been to this track before, and they didn't carry my product before this.
Yep.
But Lance said it would be a good race for me to go to, so I was like, okay, Lance, I'll check it out. Let's go. Like, I like Lance as a person. I think he's a nice guy and does all that stuff, and I appreciate what he does for the industry, even if it's like, even if he is human. Like, man, we're all human, and he's like trying to do some stuff, and he's a busy guy, and and I'm sure we all think we can all do stuff better and different. So like, Lance chooses to do the things he does for his, but I think overall Lance has a positive impact on the industry.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Lance. Thank you.
And they're finally done with their crazy 13-week deal.
Yeah. So, you got anything else, Joe?
No, man, I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
So, All right. Well, yeah, we'll get. Our next one should be at the Iceberg or at the Christmas Classic.
Let's do it. Like 2 weeks.
Two and a half. Oh, Lance checking in at the end. Jesus Christ, Lance.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
His last name? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was McDonald.
No, that's a different Lance. The Lance Parker's from Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm talking about Lance McDonald.
No, I'm talking about
Lee.
Lance Parker.
Oh,
So, man, you are tired.
dude. Look,
Dude,
let's
I
talk,
get it.
right?
Yeah, you had an unexpected road trip.
Yeah, after 4 hours of sleep, and then I got home and got a few more hours of sleep, and then worked, and then come
Welcome to
talk to
the
you guys
road.
for
Yeah.
an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Welcome to the road.
Well, I'm hoping it pays off.
Yeah, it will. Just kidding. All right. Well, I'm Joser Jr., and with me is my co-host Zach Donathan, and we have ran out of talent. Have a good night, guys.